In this video, I want to talk about the nitrogenous bases, which are the purines and the pyrimidines. So let's start off with the purines. The purines are named for their parent compound, purine, which is this structure here. Notice how I numbered it here. The numbering for this purine is numbered in this way. And notice none of these have primes. And that's actually the reason that the ribose sugar or the deoxyribose sugar in nucleotides or nucleosides have primes, is because they can't have the same number as the nitrogenous base. So the nitrogenous bases have no primes. The sugars themselves have primes. So the purines, I remember them as pure as gold or pure as silver. Silver has the elemental symbol Ag. So the A and the G represent the adenine and guanine. So I remember that there are two of them. There are two purines, and each one has two rings. That kind of helps me remember. So they both look like this. Adenine and guanine looks like this. They have a 6-membered ring next to a 5-membered ring, and they have these 4 nitrogens. So they both look the same so far, and I'm going to go through and draw out the differences and similarities. So they both have double bonds here, here, and here. They both have those double bonds. And they also have H's attached to this nitrogen down here. And this nitrogen here is actually important. Specifically, it is, I'm going to box it in orange, it is the attachment site where the sugar is bound to the nitrogenous base in a nucleoside or nucleotides. So I'll get to that in just a moment. Now, adenine has an amino group up here, whereas guanine has a carbonyl group there. So since this carbon has 4 bonds already, it can't form a double bond here, so this nitrogen has a hydrogen. This one, however, there's a double bond, so this nitrogen does not have a hydrogen attached to it. In addition, guanine has an amino group here. Okay, so the differences are basically what's going on here, and here, and here, right? Because adenine doesn't have anything there. Okay, now this orange box is where the nitrogenous base attaches to the pentose sugar via a beta 1'N glycosidic bond. What is that? Well, the sugar itself, the pentose sugar, will be beta at the anomeric carbon, which is actually which is the 1' carbon, right? That 1' carbon is connected to this N, hence this N here. So it's a beta 1'N glycosidic bond. This is the nitrogen that the sugar will be attaching to. So that's it for the purines. Now the pyrimidines are named for their parent compound, pyrimidine, and it's numbered in this fashion. So the way I remember the pyrimidines is either one of these two ways. Cut the pi, CUT, cytosine, uracil, thymine, or pyramids, right? Pyramids have sharp edges. If you look at this little pyramid I've drawn here, pyramids have sharp edges, and sharp edges cut, so CUT. So either way, whatever helps you remember. That's how I remember the pyrimidines. So the pyrimidines all have one ring structure in these 2 nitrogens. They all kind of look like this. They all have a double bond here at the right side. They all also have hydrogens at this nitrogen, and that's actually their attachment site for all of them. Okay. In addition, they all have carbonyl group here at the bottom left. Now, the difference is that cytosine has an amino group up here, whereas uracil and thymine both have carbonyl groups. Now, because of that, cytosine can have a double bond here, so that this nitrogen does not have H's, but these 2 nitrogens do have H's attached because they can't double bond. So, what's the difference between uracil and thymine? Basically, thymine is just uracil with a methyl group. So that's essentially the difference there. So between cytosine, uracil, and thymine, cytosine sort of separates itself by having that amino group, but between uracil and thymine, the only difference between them is the presence of this methyl group here. So that's it for the pyrimidines. I hope that was helpful overall in sort of going over the purines and pyrimidines. That's the end of the video. One last thing. I am a tutor, so if you live in Southern California, feel free to contact me via email at moofuniversity@gmail.com. There's more details in the description below. Thanks for watching.